Hello everyone and welcome to episode 8 of the Local to Global Save here on TEW9 with Castle Pro in Scotland, Edinburgh to be precise. And we have a big one today. We have 4 shows, hopefully. I might not be able to get this done in one recording session, but we shall see. We have 2 live in Edinburgh's, we have Christmas in the Gardens, and then we have live in Edinburgh once again. Unless this is running really long, then I might just do the 3 shows, but we'll see how it all goes. Bad news, the economy's now very weak. We are struggling. We did make money, but our sponsorship estimate is atrocious this month. So yeah, it's not going well. We have signed Andy Jacks as well. He's based in Northern England. He's pretty decent all around. I mean, he's not nothing special, but he's only on 40 a show, so we can't be too sort of picky at this stage. Our options are very small, and especially if the economy being as bad as it is, we just can't afford to pay for like top talent every month. We have to just do that for our special shows, which obviously our next one is Christmas in the Gardens. I said I was going to make that like logo bigger, but I didn't have to get around to doing it. So I'm a bit of a roll recording wise, so we're just going to stick with this for now. You can get enough of a gist of it. And yeah, it's a 2-hour show. I mean, it'll probably be like 90 minutes, all things considered, by the end of the time. But anyway, we're just going to get right into it. Our champs, of course, Doug Williams and the Dominator and the Gravedigger are our tag champs. We have a few shows lined up. Hopefully they'll be pretty good. We are sticking with our cheap tickets. Although there's a part of me that is tempted to run on normal. You know what? We're going to run normal for this show. And see what it does. So I'll be back in just a second. And we shall get this show on the road. I cannot tell you, by the way, before we even get into this rating here for Hoovie, how nice it is to just add to booking sheet and not have to keep adding a road agent manually now. It's beautiful. Like, especially after last month where he just stuck at the airport. Anyway, we're in front of 68 people, so we have lost about 16, 18 fans by going to normal ticket prices. So we're going to evaluate and see how much that brings in cash wise and see if it's worth sticking with. But anyway, Hoovie says Roughneck isn't here tonight, but he's been listening to some feedback from fans and his fellow competitors, and they all agree that Roughneck needs to go. Hoovie says that it's clear that the simple ring cannot contain these two, so how about we build up a steel cage and go to war. 62 overall is sensational from Hoovie. And he follows that with a decent match against Andy Jacks. Andy Jacks for 27, a poor initial gimmick rating, but that's fine. Those things I'm not that fussed about at the moment. Hoovie gets the win, and we're on a collision course now. I've got the November show booked already as well, so Hoovie versus Roughneck in a cage will become official, and I think that's going to be our main event. I'm going to take the risk and hope that Hoovie delivers the goods, as he usually does. Afterwards, we have John Ryan and Crazy Sexy Mike defeating PJ Black and Johnny Storm. Crazy Sexy Mike getting another win, but he only pulls in a 24, which is really disappointing. Really disappointing, actually. This is a pretty poor match from everybody involved other than John Ryan, and segment rate of 31 isn't the best. And PJ Black and Johnny Storm don't work as a team, so that's at least one negative chemistry we can pop in and rule those guys out teaming again. So good to know. But afterwards, Crazy Sexy Mike says, I'm on a roll and I know it. The fans know it, and most importantly, the champ knows it. And next month, he wants another shot with Doug. Doug comes out and says, sure, I'll always defend the belt. First, he has to go for his opponent tonight, and when he does, he'll be looking forward to putting Mike down. And in the main event, a 48 is very solid as Doug Williams defeats Jody Fleisch with the Chaos Fury to retain the National Championship to make defence number 11. He's had it for over a year. He's the man. The show gets a 49, which is sensational considering the matches weren't the best here, especially these two. But Hoovie's promo and Doug's main event, as ever, these two guys are the GOATs, and we're going to praise them as such. I'll give them both a hug. They're both pleased. We only lost 193 on that show, so I think it's worth sticking with normal pricing, especially while the economy is in the dirt. If we're only losing 193, that's good. Downside is that we're still 16. The temptation to just run a 3 show just to get that over to 17 and get the tiny. Surely the November show, surely, will be the one that gets us to tiny size. That's so frustrating. I know the risk of putting the prices higher is that the fans are less excited about the show and there are obviously less people. But come on, how have we not gone up to 17 over these last few shows? The August one, fair enough, right? Because it was right after Lunatic Fringe. But the September show, this show, which was really good, very annoying. We're going to stick with normal pricing though. And hopefully November will be the show that takes us over into 17. If it doesn't, we might have to... I mean, we've got the big show coming up, so hopefully that will definitely be enough to get us into this tiny size, but... It's just frustrating, man. We're so close. We're so close to this. And we just can't get over the hump. But yeah, I mean, if you look at this, our sponsorship's only going to be another 200. It's pathetic. But we'll gain some merch. So we should make a nice little profit. Ticket sales, as you can see, were more with less people. So we're definitely sticking with the normal ticket prices. And you need to start rising. It's annoying because if you look at Europe, Europe's economy is weak and rising. Ours has somehow got to very weak and falling. We've not even voted for Brexit yet. That's years in the 27 years in the future. It's just making me realise how old I am. That I was 7 when this Red game. But it's just so frustrating. I'm just going to have a quick look here, by the way, at our hidden gems, if there's anybody new, but there is not. And the franchise player, the Dominator, is now the main man. The Dominator is the main man over Doug, which is surprising. And don't worry, the Dominator and the Gravedigger, my god, I almost forgot his name. They are back next month. We give those guys every 2 months just because we've got to pay for their travel. And they're both more interesting. Actually, right, Dominator, can you move? I want them to move up to here. Anyway, that's the first episode of this episode. So we're going to go to November and we're going to book another live in Edinburgh. And then it's the road to Christmas in the Gardens. Boy, that took a while. Oh, good lord. 67 people here in attendance. Obviously, we are on normal ticket sales still. And this isn't going to be a very good show, I don't think. We're saying farewell to 3 members of the show actually after this, because 2 people I keep forgetting to look at the diary to see when contracts are running out, and 1 person has moved location, but we'll come to that when the time comes. However, we open with a very rare Conscience appearance, and he gets a 32 in ring. Maybe should we use Conscience more? I mean, this isn't a defeat as well. He loses to Johnny Storm, who only gets a 26. Maybe we should use Conscience more. Anyway, Johnny Storm gets the win. Afterwards, his former friend Roughneck comes out and he says, I've heard Hoovie's challenge from last week. When he says Hoovie doesn't know what he's signed up for. Roughneck is from the streets. He's used to fighting in these situations. And if you enclose him inside a steel cage, all you're doing is signing up for a death wish. The big build continues for this match. 30 rated segment, which is pretty good. In the next one, we have a 37 rated tag title defense for the Dominator and the Gravedigger as they defeat the departing Andy Jax and the departing LT Summers in 10 minutes, with the Gravedigger winning with the tombstone. So, Andy Jacks has relocated to Central Europe, so we're actually paying quite a lot of money for him to be on this show, but he was already pre-booked. And LT Summers, I forgot his contract was running out. I could re-sign him again in a few days' time, but I'm not sure if we will. He got a 29. It's like, I might have a look and see what LT Summers wants in a few days, but easy tag title defence for the two big men. And afterwards, they have a good promo, 39. They're successful once again and say that at the big Christmas in the Garden show, they want some real competition. Throw anybody you want at them because they'll line them up and knock them down. This is a horror show of a spelling situation here. Christmas and you. Maybe that's how they talk, you know. But, Jesus, man. Anyway, I'm going to try and sign a tag team for a one-off for the Christmas show and get someone maybe we've actually heard of, or at least an actual tag team is the plan. And then in our main event, Crazy Sexy Mike pulls in a 25 and was off his game as he loses to Doug Williams, who makes defence number 12 of the National Championship in a 47 rated match. Crazy Sexy Mike's contract is up in 2 days. And looking at this, I don't think we're going to re-sign him. I just don't think he's worth it in the long run. 43 rated show, not our best effort, but we'll give, who do we want? We'll give Conscience some praise. He was very good today, and we'll also give Johnny Storm some praise. We lost 259 on the show, which isn't bad considering we paid 100 in travel costs. So it's definitely, I think, going up to normal ticket pricing is the way to go. We're still at 16. Oh. I know, I could just make it very cheap tickets for one show and just get the bump. How have we not gone up a point in these free shows? Oh. Absolutely infuriating. Like, the Christmas show isn't a season finale. It's also unboxing. Do we just make the Christmas show very cheap? And then sort of go from there? That might be the way to go. Oh, it's just so infuriating. Like, these guys are leaving. I might bring Summers back. I'll see. What do we do? Like, look at the ratings. Since, like, we're on a great run of shows. We're just not going up a point. It's wild to me. To the point where, yeah, we are going to make the tickets for this very cheap. And, like, if you look at the money we're making on ticket sales, we're making double what we used to make. Like, if the sponsorship would just go up, I would be fine. It's just, the sponsorship is so infuriating. We're getting nothing out of it, and it's obviously still bad. Why's Roughneck got morale issues? Unhappy morale. Oh, is thingy, Mike's our morale officer, isn't he? Yeah. Big Wayne? Big Wayne. Big Wayne can be our new morale officer. So, go away, you're leaving anyway. And Big Wayne. That'll hopefully help some of the morale backstage. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay. That's so frustrating. Like, Do we just move back to very cheap? I'm going to move back to very cheap. Not to cheap. Move back to cheap. And that'll hopefully give us some money. And yeah. So up next is going to be live in Edinburgh on the 18th of December, and then the following week will be the big Christmas show and the end of the year wrap up. I am hoping that I will have time to record all of this today. I have about 2 and a bit hours, but that break between parts there a minute ago took an hour. So we shall see. I'll be back in just a second for our final show before the Christmas in the Gardens. And finally, we are in front of 86 people here in a generic venue, obviously, once again. And yeah, hopefully this will be the thing that takes us over into tiny size. Hopefully. So, we opened the show with Doug Williams, who says he doesn't have an opponent yet for next week. But before he can finish, out walks the debuting Michelle Starr, who flamboyantly comes down to the ring and says he's heard Doug says he's the best, but that's far from the truth. Michelle challenges Doug to a match at Christmas in the Gardens, and he accepts. 44 rating. It's a good segment. I needed an opponent for Doug. And again, I'm spending a bit of money on a few guys for these next 2 shows, so we're probably not going to make any profit. But hopefully it'll be worthwhile in the end. Afterwards, speaking of bringing out some new guys, I know it says one's got an old school heel, one's old school face, but it doesn't matter, they're only here for a month. Johnny's... I've picked the wrong guys to win. Actually, I haven't picked a winner. That's all gone wrong. Johnny Storm and Jody Fleisch beat Keith Myatt and Steve Linsky. It should be Keith Myatt and Steve Linsky beat them. Let's pretend it was by DQ. It was by DQ, okay? And then after their win, that definitely happened, they call out the tag champs, who come into a thunderous reaction, and the 2 teams stayed each other down in hype for next week. So Keith Myatt and Steve Linsky are actually a tag team. I'll show you them just after the show. But there we go. Excuse the howler on me booking them to lose. I don't think I picked a winner in the match. I think that's part of the issue. Anyway, up next, an outstanding Hoovy promo, a 64, as he comes out and says Roughneck's going to get a taste of what's coming to him in tonight's main event, but next week when that cage is lowered, it's put up or shut up time. And the main event gets a 44, which is alright. Doug and Hoovy draw with Roughneck and Michelle Starr when the match just descends into chaos and the referee chucks it out. Roughneck with a really poor 31. I'm still going to put them in the main event in the cage because I feel like the cage needs to be the main event. But Michelle Starr for 40 though is promising. The match gets a 44, the show gets a 47, that's fine by me. Like, this is a build-up show for the bigger show to come. Let's see, who should we give some praise to? We'll give it to Fleisch and Johnny, because I accidentally booked them to win. Yeah, we lost 798, so we've lost back to our usual. But crucially, we're up to 17 popularity. We are up to tiny size just in time for the big show next week, which finally, the whole episode, I thought we were going to be tiny after the first show. It took 3 shows, but we're there. That's the most important thing. We are officially there. We are tiny. And now we can move on. Now we can move on. We just need the economy to play ball. I know I say this every time now, but that economy is driving me insane at this point. I might even name the episode something to do with the economy, because it's just... oh, it's so bad. We can't do anything. Like, we're struggling to like just make the money. Like, usually by this point in a local to global, you're starting to make money, like consistent money. I'm making none at the moment. But there it is. We've risen to tiny size. Where are we on this thing here? We're looking to the future. So that's nice. That's very nice. Sponsorship, I mean, it's still absolutely diabolical. Yeah, this is going to be a bad month money-wise. But we have made nearly the same in ticket sales. So I think going back down to cheap was the right idea in the end. But yeah. Andy Jacks, by the way, his contract's up in 4 days. Maya, Linsky and Michelle Starr are literally here for the month. Michelle Starr, here he is. He's a 30-year-old. He's American, but he's in Northern England at the moment with ASW, so that's why we're using him. He's pretty good, all things considered. He's on 70 for the shows. Steve Linsky's on 70 as well. He's also pretty good. He can also be a referee, so he did some refereeing on the last show. Like, they're alright. They've not got much popularity here. And then Keith Myatt, this is the horrifying one. So Keith Myatt, he's actually pretty good. He's a good road agent as well. Decent popularity. He's on 400 for these. So it's $800 on Keith Myatt this month, which is not ideal. It looks kind of like a sad Sean Deitch. But yeah, we're not going to keep him around after this show. We have also had to move Christmas in the Gardens. Ignore that. Because of some clashes. I discovered that on Boxing Day 4 of our guys are not going to be available and we need all of them, so we've just moved it to the Sunday, the day after, which is fine. I'm going to finish booking the show. I need to book a few more matches. I've got the 3 main ones booked in. And yeah, we're up to tiny, guys. Finally. Bloody finally. We're up to tiny. Back in a second. Tell you what, I'm actually shocked that I'm recording this when I am. The game actually went fairly quickly for a change. But we are live in front of 101 people, which is our biggest attendance by far, at Castle Pro Wrestling Christmas in the Gardens, which is definitely being held in Princess Street Gardens, with like a roof and everything, because obviously it's going to be freezing in December, and probably raining. It's a big show. It's a big show. It's not really got the guests I wanted, like big name guests, but it's got some decent guys on the show. And we open with a tag match as PJ Black and Jody Fleisch defeat Chris Diamond and Conscience when PJ Black pins Chris Diamond with the 450. Jody Fleisch, the best guy in the match. PJ Black, the worst guy in the match, but he's young, he'll get better. Decent enough. And it's an opener, it got the crowd hot, it got a 39, can't complain. We then go into another match where we're seeing where guys are, and this I think sums up where these two guys are. John Ryan defeats Johnny Storm. John Ryan with a 42. Johnny Storm with a 25 and off his game. Not very good from Johnny Storm, whereas John Ryan continuing to put in some decent work for us here. He's a guy I've really got my eye on for the future. He also gets a 39. And then, why is Conscience the road agent for the... I'm going to have to go check the road agents in a minute. God's sake, Conscience. We got a 38 for this match as the Gravedigger and the Dominator defeat Steve Linsky and Keith Myatt, which is to the surprise of nobody, to make defense number 3 of the tag titles. It's a good match. The Dominator gets a 50 rating, which is very notable. Very, very notable. So we'll take that. The segment gets a 38, and I'm just going to come back in a second to sort out the road agents, because bloody Conscience. Okay, luckily our next 2 matches are fine. Why is Conscience the road agent? This angle, I've got to check the angles. Doug gets a 44. He just doesn't know much about my opponent tonight, but that's the beauty of this industry. Tonight's a big night for the fans, and he'll be sure to keep this record-breaking title run going. Okay, I had to go back in again to make sure Conscience wasn't doing any of the other promos on the show. What a mess this has been. But luckily, this match is fantastic. It gets a 59. To no surprise, Doug Williams defeats Michelle Starr with the Chaos Fury to make defense number 13 of the National Championship. Doug Williams is not losing at the moment. He is a man on a mission. A 62 is sensational. And Michelle Stark's a 47. That is the last appearance of Michelle Stark. He did also cause some problems backstage at the last show. So, you know, goodbye, Michelle. But you did good for us. I'm not going to complain about a 59 rated title match. And then we have some promos. Roughneck says he's made a lot of sacrifices in his life, and that won't change tonight. He knows he's going to come out a changed man, but at least he's going to walk out of that ring tonight, unlike Juve. 32 overall. And then this shows the difference between the two guys, because Juve gets a 57. And Juve knows Roughneck has the size and strength advantage, but Juve has the speed and mental advantage. And tonight he knows what he signed up for. He signed up for pain, his career being altered, and an uncertain future. But one thing is for certain, that he will win tonight's main event. It's a 57, and the match gets a 41, which is disappointing. I made the wrong match the main event, but I needed to make the cage the main event. We live and we learn. Juve does, however, obviously defeat Roughneck in 23 minutes with the 450. I don't think a 450 off the cage is happening, but we can pretend it did. Juve with a 43, Roughneck with a 33. I've said it already a few times. I think Roughneck's time at the top is done. Now, he's done at the top. I don't know what to do with Roughneck going forward. Obviously, Juve has a very obvious destination now, and it ties in alongside this man here, our national champion. But yeah, the show gets a 43. It's a decent little show. I mean, I don't want to see what the money looks like, because I think the money is going to be absolutely horrifying. Like, really horrifying. We're going to praise Doug and Dominator for a good performance. And yeah, we've lost 1,200 on the show. This was never going to be a show where we made any kind of money. This was always going to be a loss-making show. But that's fine. Popularity goes up to 18 at least, so that's a bit more merchandise money and a bit more attendance and all that good, fun stuff. Decent show overall. I can't really complain about how the big matches. I mean, I don't quite think the cage match delivered how I wanted it to. I think Roughneck's year one Roughneck, he pulls in a much better performance, I think. Year two Roughneck just hasn't been the same. He's just not been the same main event caliber guy. We've probably kept Roughneck in the main event scene too long at this point. I mean, may just have to start dwindling him down a little and maybe renew his contract in the years, whenever it's up in like 6 months or something. Maybe we'll renew it, but have a quick look at Starrcade. Jake Roberts, by the way, is the world champion WWE. We'll go through that in a few moments. But yeah, Linsky and Maya can go, and nobody else have to be concerned about at the moment. So that's fine. It's not going to be a pretty looking month. That's all I'm going to say, because we're not making much more sponsorship money. But the merchandise is huge, and that will only help go up as well. And this is still diabolical. Everywhere else in the world, by the way, other than Mexico, is rising. But we are struggling big time over here. I'm going to skip a few days to the end of the year. I'll do an end of year recap. We'll go through the awards, and that will wrap up today's episode. And hello from the year 1999. So, I'm just going to do this to start with, because we'll just get this over and done with the awards, and then we can start next episode with the next show, rather than starting with this and having to sim forward. So the male wrestler of the year was Bret Hart. Female wrestler of the year, Akira Hokuto. 5th time she's won it. Company of the year, New Japan for the 10th time. Jesus. Male tag team of the year, Akira Taue and Jumbo Tsuruta. Female tag team of the year was Yoshiko Tamura and Yumiko Hota. Match of the year, Jumbo Tsuruta defeating Steve Williams in All Japan. Show of the year, New Japan Wrestling World 1998. Male young wrestler of the year was Keisuke Yamada. Female young wrestler of the year was Yoshiko Tamura. Male veteran of the year was Jumbo Tsuruta. Female veteran of the year was Vicky Carranza. Most improved company was the WWF, surprisingly. Male Independent Wrestler of the Year was Ian McGregor. I believe he's someone we can sign. Female Independent Wrestler of the Year was Megumi Kudo. Male Manager of the Year, Marty Jones. Female Manager, Fantasia. Male Play-by-Play, Jim Ross. Female Play-by-Play, Bonnie Blackstone. Male Colour, Bob Blassie. And female colour commentator was Missy Hyatt, with the male referee being Katsumi Sasazaki and female referee being Shigeru Kawasaki. Pretty simple stuff there. Johnny Moss is relocated, so he's not getting signed anytime soon. So we lost nearly $2,000 last month. Just ignore that. We're not running 2 shows in a month again for a little while. Economy still terrible, by the way. So, our end of year awards. The Wrestler of the Year, to the shock of nobody, was Doug Williams. Our Male Tag Team of the Year, obviously, the Dominator and the UK Undertaker / the Gravedigger. Young Wrestler of the Year, Juventud Guerrera once again. The Match of the Year was Doug Williams defeating Michelle Starr at Christmas in the Gardens with 59. I actually didn't really hype that up enough when it happened, how good that match rating was. Card of the Year was Lunatic Fringe, and obviously referee of the Year was, of course, Big Martin Warren. And yeah, our champions, Doug Williams, for 469 days has been the Scottish National Champion, and Dominator and Gravedigger for 139 days have been our tag team champions. Other things, we are up to 18 size in Scotland. We are a tiny wrestling company, so our ticket sales should be better now. I mean, like, our ticket sales last month were really good. We should be getting more people through the door. There's a temptation now to go back to to cheap pricing or normal pricing, but I'll have a think about that off camera or off recording. But yeah, that's gonna do it. We'll have a quick look at some of the major companies. So the World Wrestling Federation, their champions are Todd Champion, is of course the European champion. Diamond Dallas Page is the heavyweight champion. He defeated the Big Boss Man. The Intercontinental champion is the big man Coco Beware for the second time. King of the Ring was won by Brian Pillman. Royal Rumble was last won by Sting. That'll obviously be this month. And your tag champions are the Nasty Boys in 1999. God help us. In WCW, your TV champion is Rattler McNasty, who's actually really good. Yeah, Rattler McNasty is the Cruiserweight champion. The US Heavyweight champion is Michael P.S. Hayes. The World champion is Jake Roberts, who defeated Marty Jannetty, of all people. The tag champions are, of course, Road Warrior Hawk and Firebreaker Chip, obviously. And your TV champion is Big Man Barry Horowitz even. New Japan, the Company of the Year, their IWGP Heavyweight Champion is Masahiro Chono. Junior Heavyweight Tag Champs, Shigeru Mayato and Solar. Junior Heavyweight Great Sensei. World Tag Titles, Koji Kanemoto and El Samurai. The Best of the Super Juniors was won by Koki Katahara. The G1 by Dr. Wagner Jr. I have not got a clue what the greatest 18 club is, but Shinya Hashimoto is the champion. Tag League was won by Dr. Wagner Jr. and Shiro Koshinaka, and the Young Lions Cup was won by Koki Kotihara. And then lastly, we'll have a quick look at All Japan and ECW. So All Japan Champion Carnival was won by Octagon. Real World Tag League by Doug Furness and Octagon. The Triple Crown Champion is Akira Taue. Still no title reigns for Mitsuharu Misawa. Unified Tag Champions is Misawa and Toshiaki Kawada. World Junior is Dick Slinger. And all Asia Tag Champs are the Legends of Kobashi and Kikuchi. One last thing to look at, where is Extreme Championship Wrestling? There it is. The World Heavyweight Champion is Pitbull Spike. Obviously, the tag champions are King Kalua and Tony Stetson, and Johnny Hotbody is the TV champion. That is going to wrap it up for us now. Thank you so much for watching, getting to the end of this episode. I think this might be a slightly longish one, but I don't actually know. I'm going to edit it in a day or two's time because I am off to go see AEW at the Hydro, so when you're watching this was like 9 days ago. But hopefully it's a good show. That's what I'm hoping for. So, thanks for all your support. Again, you guys are all legends. Love a lot of you. Keep dropping the comments, keep hitting the likes, subscribes, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys in a few days' time for 1999. Thanks so much for watching. and goodbye.